here we are on our mat again. Another practice for us to give ourselves the gift of coming into your mind and your body. So how about we start in child's pose this morning? So the start of child's pose, sometimes our hips are really tight, so you don't have to have your knees super wide, but if it feels good for you, then certainly bring your knees out as wide as you can and just let your body weight drop in between your thighs. So you're gonna let your chest relax, the weight of your head is dropped into the floor, and we're gonna start our long, deep inhales and exhales. Really, really important part of our practice is inhaling and exhaling. We're only taking the body as far as it wants to go, where we can stay in the long inhales and the long exhales. Those are really important. So in child's pose, we're relaxed through the toes. Hopefully you're not on the balls of your feet right now. So if you are, I want you to release your toes and let those guys just melt into the floor. And then we're gonna drop our seat back a little bit more. So if you can let your seat drop into your heels. And now with a few breaths that we've taken, maybe the knees can come out just a little bit wider. So go ahead and separate the knees. Yeah, let the chest drop down. And a few more inhales and exhales. And I find that it's always nice, for me at least, to really just reach out to the front of my mat, because it almost feels like someone is helping me, kind of grabbing my wrists and giving me a little pull out of my shoulders and lengthening through my triceps. And then we're slowly gonna press yourself up. So press up onto the palms a little bit here and walk the fingertips out to the side. So we're gonna take the fingertips out to the side walls. We're gonna lift up. So we're pressing up onto the tips of the fingers. And we're gonna keep the chest lengthening over your mat. And we're gonna keep your chin nice and neutral. So that means that you're not looking forward and straining in your neck. I want you to just say a slow motion no. We're gonna turn the head easy side to side. We're still in those long, full breaths. We're gonna bring the head back center. We're gonna do a slow yes. So we'll lift the head up and then tuck the chin all the way in towards your chest. And you're just moving through the range of motion that feels good for you. So if Marilee and I are going further, don't feel like you need to do anything that we're doing. You're doing what is working for your body. And then we'll bring the chin back center neutral. And we're gonna drop one shoulder in towards your mat at a time. And this is really nice to just open up through the front of the pecs and the deltoids, nice and slow. And then we'll walk the hands back, and we're gonna get long here, but we're gonna keep the head and the chest lifted, and then we're gonna drop one tricep down at a time. And while you're dropping down, I want you to keep reaching out. So we're elongating, we're lengthening by using the leverage of your palms into the floor, and then maybe it gets a little lower and a little lower on each one. And then let your head drop back down and let your forehead relax into the mat, and see if you can reach your fingertips a little bit longer out towards the front line of it. And then let's lift the head and chest up, and we're gonna take the upper body over to your left side. So we're gonna walk the hands as far over to the left as you can reach it, and we're gonna continue to create length. So rather than just getting here and staying here, I want you to think about the inhales, maybe we lift the chest, the exhales, we drop down and find a little bit more. So again, I can't emphasize more, building a rapport with the floor, using the floor to help you create and to reach. And then once you feel like you've found your length, then let your head drop and just let your breath flow. So from that right shoulder all along the right side of the ribs, and sometimes even into that right hip, you should be feeling that pull, that length, and it's a feel good. We're gonna lift up and come over to the right side. So while your head is lifted, we'll find a deep breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and drop down and start to create the length here. So now we're reaching, extending, we're using the breath. to feel from the left shoulder along the whole left side of the ribs. Beautiful. One more breath in. Find that deep exhale. And let's come back center onto your mat. And we'll bring your wrists under your shoulders. Let's bring the knees under the hips. And we're just going to come up onto the toes. And then we'll take the hips a little bit side to side. And we're rounding up through the spine. So you can tuck up, just find feel goods. What's feeling good for you? Moving around in any way that you like. And then we'll walk the fingertips all the way up to the front of your mat. Bring your knees up underneath your hips. So go ahead and just walk yourself to the front of your mat so you have length behind you. Bring your knees up with you. So your knees are under your hips. You're just moving forward on the mat. So bring your knees up underneath your hips. Yeah, nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and step back on the ball of that right foot. So we're just going to find some length inside of that right heel, that right Achilles. There's a press there. We're pushing through the palms. And then we're going to keep the ball of that right foot where it is. And we're just going to lift your left knee, but keep your left knee bent. And then look at your toes and let your arms open up to the floor. And we'll lower that down. And we'll bring the right knee back under your hips. And we'll bring the left ball of your foot back behind you. Energy through that left heel. We're stretching through the arch. We're opening up through the Achilles. Let's find a breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and lift that right knee. The right knee will stay bent. We're looking at the toes. And then go ahead and step that right foot back across from the left, and let's open up into our downward facing dog. So your first dog doesn't have to be so long. It doesn't have to be so lengthened if you're not ready for it. You can bend your knees a lot. So if you feel like you're really tight inside of your hamstrings, let your knees be bent. If it feels better to straighten them, go ahead and straighten them. But what I'd like you to do is make sure that you're long enough to where your heels are naturally lifted off of the floor, because once your heels are on the floor, we're already that long. And we will go into that stretch too, but we're going to create the length in each downward facing dog. So let your head drop down towards the floor. Relax through your neck. We're exaggerating a little bit through your low back. So we'll push the sit bones up towards the sky. And then let's just take a few heel lifts. As we inhale, we'll lift up and get on the tippy toes. Find a little mobility through the toes. On the exhales, we're going to lower that down. Inhale, we'll take it up. Find the squeeze. So this is your own breathing pattern. Exhale, we'll lower it down. So for you, if you're breathing longer or shorter, flow with your heel lifts there. Let's take one more. And see if you can relax. Now let your head drop a little deeper. So maybe your forehead gets a little closer, and we're opening up a little more through the shoulders. Breathing into that part there. Yes. And then go ahead and stretch your right leg up to the sky. And we're just going to reach through your toes and just circle through that right ankle. Take it around both directions. A little mobility through the ankle joint. We'll drop the right foot and we'll lift the left leg up. Reach through the toes. Circle around nice and slow. Very nice. And then we'll drop that left foot and we're going to come into a high plank position. So in a high plank, we're going to stack shoulders. Shoulders, elbows, wrists are stacked. We're keeping the middle fingers in line with the shoulders. We're tucking up through the pelvis. So I want you to feel, when you tuck up through your pelvis, I want you to feel your abdominals engage a little bit more as you're driving your chest away from the floor. We're going to squeeze through the thighs. And then we'll lift your left foot just a little bit off the floor and point through your left toes and find a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, it's a 4 count of your left knee coming up to your left tricep. For 4, we're going to turn that knee out. For 3, for 2, and if it's available, tap on lightly. If it's not, you're somewhere way back here and you're just kind of close. If you're all the way up, you know that you can feel that little shake right now. We're keeping the arms strong and straight. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that back for 4, 3, 2, and we'll drop that left foot. And then we're going to lift the right foot up and go ahead and point your toes back. And we'll find a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to take it up to the right side for 4, 3, 2. We're going to try and touch it. Even if you can't touch it, you're going to keep striving to. If you are touching it lightly, you're going to lift it higher and higher the whole time. And then we'll take it back for 4, 3, 2, and we'll drop that foot. We're still breathing into your high plank position. And if you need to at any time, Marilee's strong and she's staying in that strong plank. If you need to, you can always bring your knees to the floor and modify right here while we're in between. Here's a modification. If you're feeling good, keep those knees lifted. We're squeezing through the thighs. And then we're going to point your left toes back behind you again. So left toes are reaching. We're driving the chest away from the floor. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, it's a 4 count. Left knees come into the right tricep. For 4, it's a hip rotation. For 3, we're going to turn the hips. For 2, we're going to drive that knee up. We're going to keep striving to get it up there. And then we're going to take it back. For 4, nice and slow. For 3, awesome. For 2, and then drop that foot. And even if you do that pose fully, maybe when you come back and you're holding the plank, maybe that's when you come into the modification. And then when you feel stronger, you can pick it up. And then go ahead and point your right toes back. Keep driving the chest away from the floor. Keep turning the elbows to the back wall. Breathe in. As you exhale, let's rotate it. For 4, we're going to tuck it up. For 3, we're going to take it high. For 2, we're going to strive to touch it. I don't want you to lean on it. I want you to tap it lightly, so you should feel a little shake there. And then slowly we're going to bring it back. For 4, for 3, for 2, and we'll drop that foot. And then nice and easy, come on into your downward facing dog. So here, see if your dog gets a little bit longer. Maybe it gets a lot longer, where you're opening your arms and letting your head drop. And we're finding those full deep inhales and exhales. We're pushing the seat up. So down dog, although it is sometimes a resting pose, it's also a beautiful opportunity to create more length for yourself. And then we're going to take that shift into your high plank. We're going to do this together. So this is our chaturanga. If you want to modify, you'll be on the knees. If you don't, you're going to stay high. And we're going to find 6 seconds to lower down into it. So let's lower down. We're moving forward already for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to take a pause here, tuck up through the pelvis. And then 1 foot at a time. We're coming up into your upward facing dog. We're going to pull the shoulder blades together. We're squeezing through the glutes. Chin is going to stay neutral, although it looks much prettier to lift your head up. We're not going to jam on the cervical spine. Downward facing dog. 1 foot and then the other. So we're going to challenge ourselves to use 1 foot at a time so we're not rolling over the toes and creating toe issues, toe problems, bunions, and pulled ligaments and all that kind of stuff in your toes. Happens a lot, especially if you do yoga a lot. Let's take a shift into your high plank. We're going to point your left toes back behind you. Let's find a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, nose to the knee on a 4 count. Let's round it up. For 4, we're tucking. For 3, for 2, I want you to bring it all the way in. If you can touch it, go for it. Let's push it out. For 4, 3, 2, hold it right here. We're breathing in. As you exhale, we're taking it to the left tricep. For 4, drive it up. 3, 2. It's a little touch if you can touch it or keep striving to get it up there. We're going to bring it back for 4, 3, 2. I want you to square the hips on this one. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, we're coming to the right. For 4, Marilee just got on her fist. 3, 2, and that releases the wrists a little bit. Lift it up high. Let's take it back. 4, so that's a nice way to modify. 3, 2, we'll drop that foot and find child's pose. So let's relax for a moment. It is a lot of wrist work. That's why the modifications come into play really nice. So if you need to modify, you can certainly come down onto your forearms as well if you feel like you need that break. So let's come up onto the knees and we'll just do a little figure 8 to stretch out through the wrists all the way up to the sky. Keep working that circular motion. And then we'll let your right hand grab your left wrist. Breathe in, pull up out of that left shoulder. As you exhale, we're going to come over to the right side. And then we'll come back center, switch on the grip. Inhale, lift up out of it. Exhale, drive it to the left side. And then we'll come back center. Let's come down onto the palms. Keeping the knees under the hips, we'll reverse the stretch. So just a little body weight, and the top of that hand feels good. And then we'll switch sides, flip it over, press down a little bit of weight there. So if you want to modify, you can come up onto your fist if that feels better for you. I like the foundation of wide hands. But if it doesn't feel good, my body's different than yours. So if the wide hands doesn't feel good, come onto the fist. If that doesn't feel good, come down onto the forearms. So we're going to come into a high plank. I'm going to modify in the forearms. Marilee's going to stay high. So I could show you that we can do it here. Point your right toes back behind you. Find a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to tuck up. For 4, we're going to round it. For 3, for 2, we're going to take it so tight in. Keep driving it up, and then we're going to push it back. For 4, for 3, for 2. Excellent. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, we're going to the right side. For 4, for 3, for 2. If you can tag on, it's a light little touch. That's more work. Let's take it back. 4, 3. So you're going into 2. Breathe in. As you exhale, let's go to the left. When you're taking it all the way up, 4, rotate that hip. 3, 2, you're going into that level 3, level 4 movement. Let's take it back for 4, 3, 2, drop that foot. Let's breathe here. 5, 4, I'm going to come on up. So if you needed to drop your knees, that's great. 3, 2, go ahead and find your chaturanga. So we'll lower down nice and easy. We're tucking up through the pelvis. And then upward facing dog, we'll find the breath in. We're going to bring the shoulder blades together. Let's come back to your chaturanga. And downward facing dog, we'll exhale. Let's take a little torso twist. So go ahead and bring your right hand outside of your left leg. And we're going to find a strong pull. So Marilee's got some nice length here. Body weight's going to shift a little bit through the right side. And if you were really tight and it didn't feel good for you to come all this way, you can certainly just grab the knee and stay here. So if it feels better once you're there, then you can keep sliding down. I want you to let your heels relax. And on the exhales, we're using that right arm strength to find the twist. And then go ahead and open it up. And then stretch your right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee and roll open through that right hip. So we're going to keep flexion on this one. Toes are pulling in towards the kneecap. And we're going to go ahead and curl that heel in a little bit. So nice and active through the foot. We're lifting through the knee. We're breathing into that right psoas. And then we'll drop that right foot. And we'll bring the left hand outside of the right. So we'll reverse the twist, and we're going to find the pull. Body weight's going to shift a little bit to the opposite side. And then the exhales, we square the chest, we breathe into the spine. And then open up into your long dog with a high left leg. We'll bend that knee, flex that foot. Let's roll open through the left hip. Take the heel with some energy and push it. Tuck the toes in. We're curling the heel in. We're inside the whole left side of the ribs as well. 5, 4, 3, 2. We'll bring that left foot to the floor. And then I want you to walk your fingertips all the way up to the front of your mat. So bring your feet with you if you need to. Staying in your down dog. Get long here because we're going to start at the front of our mat always. And then we're going to take little baby steps and walk your toes up to your wrist. We're keeping straight legs as best you can to get the deeper stretch. If you need to bend your knees a lot, you're going to do that. It's great. We're all the way up to the front of your mat. We're going to bring your heels under your hips and drop your palms flat to your shins. And then we'll just find a nice lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, fold in. So find a fold that works for you. Let's do that again. So we'll go ahead and take that inhale. Create the length. Breathe in here. And as you exhale, take the fold. So maybe you're grabbing your ankles, maybe you're bringing your forearms. We're gonna stay here in a forward fold. So maybe you're using your forearms as your leverage to pull. Maybe you're using your fingertips outside of your little toes and working the floor to get deeper. So try all the different options out. You never know which one may give you the better stretch that feels good. Let's take the upper body to the left side. So just go ahead and get long. And if your fingertips don't reach in the floor, then you can use a block here and slide it out away from you and create length that way. Just a few breaths to get a little bit long. And then we'll take that to the right side and create the length. Reach out through the fingertips. Nice. And then we'll come back center. We're going to catch opposite elbow to hand, and we're going to let your head drop. So we're just hanging loose, and we'll take a nice sway side to side. So ragdoll, just hanging out. And if it feels good here, you can straighten your legs even more. We'll let your arms drop down, and we're going to lift enough so that your fingertips don't touch the floor. So we'll lift up however high that is for you, and we're just going to make some circles. So you're looking through your legs. Where the eyes go, the body follows. If you look through your legs, you may be able to fold a little bit more. We're going to reverse the circles, make them bigger the other way. And then sway yourself to the left, grab onto your left calf, lift up and breathe in. And as you exhale, fold, pull deep. So maybe you're working your way all the way down to that Achilles, that ankle. Come back center, grab opposite elbow to hand and sway side to side back into your ragdoll. So let your head drop. Yeah, your gaze is back behind you. We're releasing through the spine because we're getting nice and warm. And then go ahead and come all the way to the right side. Yeah, lift up, feel the length, breathe it in. As you exhale, find the strength in it. Fold and dive in. And then every exhale, we fold and feel. Beautiful. We're working to the outside of that right knee. We're straightening both legs. And then we'll come back center. And we'll heel toe the feet together. Let the insides of the feet touch each other. And we're going to slowly roll up, just one vertebrae at a time. So let's take it from the floor. And then just allow yourself nice and slow. Let your spine stay rounded. Easy. Shrug the shoulders up. Breathe in. As you exhale, roll them back behind you. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, roll them back. One more time. Find the breath in and the shrug. And as you exhale, roll it back here. We're going to reach the arms out wide. Breathe in high. Let your sternum lift up. Lift up through your quads. On the exhale, we're going to reach out to the front wall. Push through your seat to the back wall. This is your forward fold. It's not a rest pose. You're supposed to feel something. So find a way to feel, and then halfway, we're going to lengthen the spine. Step or jump back lightly into your high plank position. Chaturanga, we're going to lower down. This is the strong pose. Let's stay here. Chaturanga. Up dog, 1 foot at a time. Take the load, pull the shoulder blades together. Downward facing dog. Let's find the exhale. Very nice. And we'll bend the knees. Step or float your feet to the front of your mat. Feet come together. We're going to lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, fold in a little stronger. As you inhale, reach out higher, longer, all the way up through the sky. On the exhale, forward fold. Exaggerate. Yeah, fold it in. Halfway lift. We're breathing here. Find your high plank. Chaturanga, let's lower down nice and easy. Take the pause in it. Upward facing dog, we'll breathe it in. On this one, pull the shoulder blades back. We're coming back into that chaturanga, so come on back in. Let's stay right here for 5 seconds. 4, we're tucking through the pelvis. 3, 2, downward facing dog. Let the seat drive high and the head drop low. Bend the knees and we're at the front with a lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, we're folding deep. And on the inhale, we're touching the sky. Come on up long with straight legs, hands to the heart center, palms pressed together. We're coming into sun salutation B. So let's find that seated squat. Bend the knees, sweep the floor, breathing in high. On the exhale, forward fold. Let's dive down nice and low. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in here. We're in a high plank. And let's reach your right toes to the wall behind you. Go ahead and point it back. So if this one is too strong for you, keep 2 feet in the floor. Who cares? We're going to lower down on a 4 count for 4, 3, 2. We're going to pause right here, and then we're going to find 4 little push-ups. The whole body's going for 4. Yeah, for 3. It's just about 2-3 inches. Take a pause. Drop that right foot. Up dog. Let's breathe in. Chaturanga. Let's come back. It's a 4 count up to your high plank for 4. Awesome. 3, 2, very strong. Left toes are pointing to the back wall. We're going to lower down into your chaturanga, and we're going to find 4 little push-ups here for 4. You can always 3 modify by bringing that knee to the floor if you needed to. 2, nice. 1, drop that left foot. We're pushing up for 4. We're coming into the high. So left foot drops. We're in the chaturanga.
Oh.
Yeah, and we'll push up. 2 feet are in the floor for 4. Awesome. 3, 2. We're in a high plank. Chaturanga, we're down low. Up dog, let's breathe it in. Ah, downward facing dog. We exhale. Beautiful. Right leg's going to come to the sky. Right foot lunges through the hands. Left foot takes the turn. So back foot's going to stay here. Hands are going to stay in the floor on this one. So we're just going to breathe into the seat through the right. Yes. And I want you to keep in mind that you have your blocks for a reason. So if you're really tight, you can use those here. We're just going to straighten that right leg. So right leg gets straight. Yeah, we're going to keep turning that left hip. So if you have blocks, use them so that you can work a straighter right leg. Because I'd rather you use your blocks and get deep into that warm leg than cheat yourself and just be on your fingertips with a knee bent. So if you're here and you can straighten that leg, you'll lengthen. And if you're up on your blocks, you're still going to be going into that depth of that right hamstring. Now let's walk your fingertips out. So if you have your blocks, just kind of slide them away from you. We're going to get long through your spine right here. So let's breathe in and lengthen your chest. And as you exhale, we're going to let your chest, not your background, we're going to let your chest come into that right thigh. And then let your head go. And then you can create more while you extend the fingertips out. And on the exhales, you drop deeper into that right hamstring. And the gaze is to your left toes. We're going to breathe here. We're going to stay here. And we're working on bringing that left hip a little bit forward, kind of squaring off. And then I want you to bring your blocks out away from you. Yeah, and then reach your fingertips towards the front of the blocks so that you can let yourself. And then once you're here and you're breathing, maybe you just want to get rid of your blocks because now your fingertips can touch the floor and you can go deeper there. So the blocks are just a nice way to give yourself the gift of creating something a little bit more in the beginning of the pose. And then we'll go ahead and get on that right heel. Flex your toes up in towards your shin, towards your kneecap. Beautiful. Lengthen your spine, and then go ahead and take that left hand and catch the ball of your left foot. So I want you to stay square here still with your chest. Breathe in. As you exhale, use the left arm. Bend through that left elbow. Fold in. And don't bring your knee to your face. Bring your chest and your face in towards your thigh. And certainly if you need to modify, then you won't even be on your heel. You'll keep your foot in the floor. If that was enough, that's where you're going to stay. Beautiful. We'll drop that foot and bring your right hand on top of your right shin. And then bring your left palm to your left rib cage. And we're just going to peel that rib cage back. So you're stacking your left ribs on top of your right. We're finding a flat back here. We're light on the right shin. We'll reach the left arm up to the sky. And if it feels good, look up. Because where the eyes go, the body's following to create that extension. Let's breathe in as you exhale. We're going to just reach the arm overhead and let that palm shine to the floor. And again, if it feels good, you're looking through the fingertips. If it doesn't, look down at the floor. If that feels better, we want to get long from the hip up into the ribs. Beautiful. We'll square the chest to your right leg again. So we're just going to square off. Hands will be in the floor. Nice. here. So if you start to feel like you're a little tight, you can use your blocks again. So if you feel like you're bending that front knee, then you can bring yourself up onto your blocks. We're gonna bring your left hand on top of your left foot or your shin. We'll press your right palm to your low back. And then we'll open through that right shoulder. Nice. And we're driving energy through the edge of that left foot. And then we'll reach that right arm up to the sky. And where does your neck feel good to be looking? We're gonna reach that right arm overhead. Yeah, create that space. Full, long, deep breaths for 5, 4. We're gonna rotate the torso and spin up, keeping straight legs. Upper body's gonna come up tall into triangle. So come on all the way up. We're coming all the way up. All the way, yeah. So from here, yeah, we're just gonna reach those arms out. Let's find a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're gonna extend out just from the torso. Right palm flips to the sky, and then we'll bring the left palm to come shoulder width distance over the right. And we're gonna peel back. We're squeezing up through that front quad, so we're pushing through that whole right foot. And I want you to continue. We're staying inside the obliques, so the sides of the abdominals, we're working. Every time we reach out a little further, we're asking those guys to help us do some more work. So keep the electricity through the fingertips for 5, 4, 3. Warrior 2, we're gonna bend that front knee. Right palm drops down. Yeah, we'll drop through the shoulders. We'll bring the shoulder blades together. We're gonna turn that right knee out a little bit. And then we'll flip the right palm up. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, let's lift up through the fingertips. And on this one, let your left hand catch your right wrist. And then give yourself a little pull out of that right shoulder. So I want you to stay in the pull here. Make sure you're squeezing that back glute so you're protecting your back. Only go as far back as it's feeling good for your spine. And then a cartwheel flow through to your high plank. And chaturanga, we're gonna lower down nice and slow. Up dog, we'll fill the lungs up. Pulling the shoulder blades together. Chaturanga, we're gonna come back into the work. Let's turn your left knee out to the left side wall. Bring it up a little bit towards your left elbow. Open that inner thigh for 5. Yeah, we're doing a lot of work. 4, 3. For 2, we'll find the step back. And we'll take that right knee out. Open it up, flex the toes, bring it up higher if you can. Yeah, keep those shoulders lifted. 5, 4. 3, 2, take the step back, up dog, we'll breathe it in. Awesome, shoulder blades come back. Downward facing dog, we'll find the exhale. Nicely done. Let's just breathe into down dog. Bend the knees, make your way. We're at the front of your mat. Find the lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, we're gonna fold deep, feet come together. So insides of those feet touch each other. Forward fold. Chair pose, let's drop the seat. Come on up, chair pose. Nice, knees come back away from the toes. So you're loading up your thighs, you're squeezing your thighs together. We're elongating. Forward fold, let's dive in. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in here. Find your high plank. Awesome, chaturanga, we're down slow. Up dog on the breath in. And downward facing dog as we exhale. Left leg lifts. Left foot lunges through your hands, right foot turns sideways, hands stay in the floor. We're gonna stay right here. So just for a moment, I want you to feel the edge of your right foot pressing into your mat so you have some leverage. We're back leg loaded. We're gonna straighten that left leg. Yeah, and we're gonna walk the fingertips forward. So go ahead and reach yourself out. And on this one, have your blocks close by because we're gonna get warmer and warmer. Start off with your blocks. That's a real nice way to get your length going. Yeah, so we lengthen and then I want you to push the blocks out away from you. We're gonna use those as your guide to get to the edge of the blocks. Let your chest drop into your left thigh. And we're working the breath. Yeah, we're tucking that hip in. We're driving that right hip forward. We're inside the warm back of your left leg, the hamstring down through that calf. And as we get warmer, we're bringing the blocks away so we can find a little more length through the spine until maybe you just slide them out of your way and you don't need them anymore because your fingertips are in the floor. So we're breathing into that, or you're keeping them the whole time until it's time to flow to the next pose. So you're only going as far as your breath will let you go. Once you start to lose the ability to be able to find full inhales and exhales, you've gone too far. So back off a little bit. Maybe that's what you need today, is just to back off. We're gonna bring your left palm on top of your foot, or you can keep it on a block inside or outside of your foot. Bring your right hand to your right rib cage. And then we're gonna peel the ribs back. Yeah, we're gonna stack those ribs. We're gonna tuck that hip in, reach that right arm up to the sky. Let's extend and lengthen. So there's no lean in that left arm. We're nice and light. Yeah, we're just light on that shin. We're lifted. Let's breathe in as you exhale. We're gonna reach it over and feel. Very nice. So we're letting someone grab the wrist and just pull you out and create a little more. While we're here, we just find a little bit, and then a little bit, and then a little bit more. For 5, 4, 3. So just let your chest drop into that left shin. Square off. One hand on either side of your foot. Fold in where we were. So just stay there. Yeah, just fold into that shin where we started. Beautiful. And then we'll bring your right palm on top of your left foot. If you're really tight, you can use a block inside of here. So if you're tight, you'll go there. If you're warm, then you can catch on and grab that shin. So find what feels good for you, Mare. And then we'll bring your left palm to your low back. We'll roll open through that left shoulder. Yeah. So this might feel great, and you want to just stay here and work this. And you can always hop that back foot up. And if it feels better, you'll bring that left arm up to the sky. And then go ahead and breathe in as you exhale. Let's reach it overhead. Yeah, let that palm shine to the floor. For 5, gorgeous. 4, we're gonna keep 2 straight legs on this one. 3, 2, we're gonna spin up. 2 straight legs, left middle finger to the front wall. Beautiful. And then we're just gonna reach out. So just the torso is reaching out, right? So we're just kind of moving from the rib cage, stretching out here, and then we'll flip that front palm up. So left palm's to the sky. While you're here, maybe you can reach just a little bit more through the torso. Yeah, and then we'll bring that top arm over. And we're gonna go into that right palm. Gorgeous. Over the left, we're inside the obliques. So as we reach out, we're working through the sides, we're engaging, we're creating, we're feeling. For 5, yeah, keep the work on. There's a lot of electricity. Challenge yourself to not let go on this one. 4, 3, we're gonna bend that front knee. Warrior 2, left palm drops to the floor. We'll slide that right foot back. So in Warrior 2, if you're really warm, you can start to take up some real estate on your mat, right? Start to lengthen open. See if you can balance maybe a little tabletop on that left thigh. And then we'll flip that palm up, breathe in as you exhale. We're gonna reach up. Again, let yourself get lifted up. Go ahead and catch on to that wrist. And you're just gonna pull back as far as it feels good. Let your chin be where your neck feels good. And close your eyes and just own your pose. Feel good through it. We're here breathing it. Beautiful breaths. We're bringing life into every single part of your body. Let's cartwheel flow through into your high plank. So if your block's there, you'll just move it out of the way. We're in a high plank position. And we're gonna bring your right wrist under your shoulder. We're gonna bring your left foot on top of your right. If you're gonna modify this, so we're staying strong here in a side angle. We're flexing the toes, we're pulling the thighs up, we're lifting. If you need to modify this pose, then you'll bring your right knee under your hip. You'll kick your right foot out. And you'll take the turn right here. So if you're modifying, you're here. You can also modify by staggering your feet, having one foot in front of the other. Marilee's doing a lot of work because I'm talking and she's working. You can stack your feet, one foot on top of the other. She's like, I'm still here. Yes, I am. Reach that arm overhead. So go ahead and extend and reach it. Now we're asking the obliques to keep working, which we just did in our triangle. If you feel stronger, lift your top leg up and reach your toes to the wall behind you. So if you're feeling stronger, you're squaring those hips. Yeah, you're lifting up away from the floor. 5, you're reaching it. 4, 3. She's doing all the hard stuff. For 2, we're in a high plank. Excellent. Let's find child's pose. So let's chill out. In child's pose, you can just relax here. If it feels good, we've been working the shoulders. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift your arms up. You can keep them to the back wall. You can lift them to the sky. You can bring them side to side. Again, it's real personal to what is working for you, to what feels good. You might have a lot of muscle up in here, and maybe you need to work with a little washcloth or a towel. So maybe you're using your strap or a little washcloth. Marilee's got enough flexibility, but if you don't, you'll take this across and you can work it. Yeah, you can work it right here. So if you got those big, strong shoulders, like a lot of the guys in class, then you're gonna wanna work a little bit of a modification. And then let's come on into your high plank, and we're gonna work the other side. And yes, I'm gonna make Marilee work it as long as we did on both sides. Left wrist is under the shoulder. We're gonna stack the feet because she's strong enough. We're flexing the toes in. We're squeezing through the thighs. That's beautiful, Marilee, very nice. And she's driving the energy. So I can see while we're here in the pose, she's trying to get that left hip just a little bit further away, just a little bit further away. And that's making the whole left side of her abdominals just say, let's do the work, let's burn, let's feel. Thighs are pulling up, so we're staying active in the lower body too. No lazy thighs. We're gonna reach that arm overhead. Let your palm drop to the floor. You're looking wherever you want to. We're still lifting, and we're still working those hips like headlights to the side wall. Feeling stronger, lift that top leg. Sometimes maybe you're not feeling that strong on the other side. Maybe you would only lift it a tiny bit. We're gonna take it high. 5, we're gonna work it strong. 4, 3, we're gonna own the pose. For 2, come on into your high plank. Come on into your down dog. Let your seat drive high. Let your head drop low. Yeah, nice. Bend the knees and make your way to the front of your mat. We're gonna lift halfway, breathing in. Feet are together on that one. On the exhale, we're gonna forward fold. So if you come up, once you take the jump, bring those feet together. Chair pose, let's drop the squat. Chair pose, we're dropping into it. So a good way to know if you're in good form with your chair pose is to look down. And if your toes are covered by your knees, you're going to shift them back a little bit so that you can see the tips of your toes, or squeeze them through the thighs. We're gonna tuck up a little bit, find a neutral spine. So bring the belly button up, yeah. And the chest lifts a little bit. Nice. So chair pose, if you're really in it, is work. So no lazy chair poses. I want you to work deep in it because we're going to keep going into the depth of that work. So as you're in your seated squat, I want you to go ahead and just lift that right foot off the floor. Drive your right thigh up into your chest. Keep the single leg squat on the left. Lower your arms down so that your wrists are in line with your shoulders. Yeah. Nice. And you can bring your hands to your hips if you need to. That's a modification as well. We're going to straighten that front leg. So push out through your right heel. We're going to keep the chest tall, and we're going to find a straight leg lift on the right. So let's lift it up right here for 8, 7. If you need a break, 6. Come back into your chair pose. 5, 4. If you feel stronger, keep the lifts. 3, 2, drive your thigh up into your chest, reach your arms to the sky, breathe in as you exhale. So bend that knee, drive your thigh up, arms stay high. On the exhale, fold into warrior 3. We're gonna push the heel to the back wall. We're hinging, yes, at the hips. We're squeezing through the glute. We're gonna lift the arms because warrior 3 is a serious pose and has a lot to do with the limbs, creating length in your spine, but also lifting through the arms and that back leg. Warrior 3, it's a beautiful pose. Slide your left hand to your left hip and then let your right fingertips find your block. And bring your block under your right shoulder. So let's stay here. We're gonna stay light on the block. We're gonna stay strong in that back leg. And then I want you to go ahead and press your left palm to your low back and just turn your torso. Start to slowly turn. Yeah, and that right hip will drop a little bit. And then we'll reach your left arm up to the sky. Go ahead and reach that up. That's nice. Let's keep the lift here. So we're staying light on the block, no body weight there unless you really need it because we're putting that inside the core for 5, 4. For 3, we're We're going to guide that heel in. So bend that back knee. We're going to reach back. If it's available, catch your foot. If it's not, stay in the previous pose. If it is available and you do catch your foot or your ankle or your big toe, I want you to lift your leg up and start to kick that foot away from you. Now we're pulling. Now we're inside the deltoid. We're breathing into it. It may feel better for you to look down at the floor. Maybe it feels good for you to look sideways. You're staying in tune with where that is. That's an active back leg. It's constantly lifting on the inhales. On the exhales, we're kicking it for 5. Super slow motion. You can stay here if you want to go into the next pose. If you want to go into that level 3, we're going to bring the right middle finger halfway to the wall in front of you for dancer's pose. Yeah, we're going to lift it up and we're going to kick it back for 8, 7. Looks amazing. 6, 5. Keep the reach on. 4, 3. Chair pose. The feet meet. Drop the squat. Ah, it's no joke. So kneecaps come in line with each other. Yeah, and the quads are burning right now. And we're going to, she said they are. And guess what? If they are, just stand up. Stand up and shake the legs out. Yeah, because that's just a nice thing to do. It's just to find a little love for yourself. Let's fold forward into ragdoll and just hang out and hang loose a little bit, side to side. Nice little flow. And then bring your fingertips outside your baby toes and find your high plank. So when you're starting to feel like you need to give yourself a little bit of a break and back off, chaturanga is a great thing to do, lower down. So you'll just flow through a vinyasa. Up dog, we'll breathe in and let that feel good. Downward facing dog, we exhale. And I talk about it all the time. Guess what else we would do? Child's pose at any time. So straight from there, even if you just needed to fold forward and step back into child's pose, do that. Hit pause and come into child's pose and enjoy it. Hit pause and finish the practice later if you feel like you need a break. That's the beauty of being able to do this in your own time, in your own space. Bend the knees, we'll make our way up to the front of your mat. Let's find that lift halfway. We're breathing in as you exhale, forward fold. It's not a competition, it's just what's going on in your body for yourself today. Take a seated squat, chair pose. Let's drop it. Bring the knees back, squeeze the thighs, tuck the pelvis up a little bit. Yeah, chest is driving up towards the sky. We're gonna lift that left thigh up into your chest, and we're gonna keep that deep seated squat. So I want you to stay as low as you feel strong enough to stay. We're flexing those left toes. Yeah, we're gonna lower the hands down. So now the shoulders and wrists are in line with each other. We're driving that thigh up. We're gonna straighten that leg out. So we're pushing electricity through that heel. It's a straight leg lift. Let's take it up for 8, 7. You need a break. You're in chair pose. 6, so you'll just drop that foot. 5, get a little higher on each one. 4, 3, 2, stay here and just drive the knee up. Yeah, reach the arms to the sky. Breathe in as you exhale, warrior 3. That's a strong one. If you're doing it right, you should be sweating. We're turning that left hip down. We're squeezing that left glute. We're pulling those toes in. We're reaching the arms out. And then mobility through the shoulders. We're trying to get those arms to lift a little bit towards the sky. Yeah, create it. 5. Feel it. 4. Burn it. 3. For 2, slide that right hand to your right hip. Find your block with your left fingertips. Bring it under your left shoulder. Let's take a pause right here. So before we turn open, let's just take a pause and set ourselves up. Grip your toes. Get light on your block. Put that into the abdominals, into the core. Bring your right palm flat to your low back. Just feel that. Feel your low spine. Breathe in as you exhale. Now open a little bit. Turn a little bit. Yeah. And on the inhales, we lift. On the exhales, we roll it open. We're still staying active and lifting that back leg. And then we'll guide that heel in. One side may cooperate, the other one may not. So love yourself through it. And you can also, if this is just the pose that you're working on, then you could stop here, hit pause, and you can wrap a little washcloth or towel around and get yourself, or your yoga strap, and get yourself into, you can wrap it around your foot and have more length and get longer that way. So we're rolling open through that shoulder. We're lifting through that back leg. We're kicking through that heel. We're staying light on that block so no body weight's dropping down. And if you're feeling stronger to go into That level 3, that level 4, let's bring the left middle finger out halfway up the wall. Yeah, let's create it. Twisted dancer's pose. We're kicking and feeling. We're breathing and reaching for 5. Keep working the toes back. 4, looks so strong, beautiful. 3, 2, chair pose. Let's drop the seat. You should be feeling it. We're in that seated squat. Forward fold. Let's dive down, and we'll make our way to your high plank. And we're going to come all the way down to the floor and just chill out, all the way down to the floor. Relax, cheek to one side. So now is when you give yourself the opportunity to think about every little muscle in your body relaxing and releasing. An opportunity to let the work that you just brought into those muscles just kind of flush out. Let that lactic acid flow and flush. Become one with the floor. And then we're going to flip over onto your back, and we're going to use that block. So we're going to take your block. Hopefully you have a block. You can get these on Amazon. They're pretty cheap and they're pretty awesome. So treat yourself. We're going to take that block in our feet, and we're going to bring it up to the sky. So what I want you to do is I want you to squeeze that block as strong as you can using your inner thigh strength. I want you to think about that block like you could squish it together and make it just be one skinny little block. That's how much I want you to keep squeezing it. Keep thinking about the opportunity to squish it like a marshmallow, because I want you to keep those adductors turned on. We're pushing your low spine into the floor right now. We're still squeezing, so that's where the work is. Bring your focus into your inner thighs only and pushing your low spine down with your abdominals. Keep squeezing that block. Keep squeezing that block as strong as you can. Now we're going to lift the upper body up. We're going to push through the low spine. We're going to take the block. So I want you to take it. I'd like you to try and keep it far away and take it rather than bringing it back here. But if you need to bring it back a little bit, certainly do that. We're going to take the block. We're going to extend the heels out in line with your hips. We're keeping the shoulder blades off the floor. And we're going to reach that block back behind you. So find the reach. Shoulder blades are down. If this is too much, bend the knees and drop the heels. And then we're going to bring it back. You bring the block to your feet. That's the crunch. Squeeze it. Lower it down. Reach your arms overhead. If you need some support for your neck, you can bring your fingertips behind your head. Let's flow with it. Reach up, catch it, squeeze. Shoulder blades are off the floor. So find your flow. Find your flow. I'm not going to tell you when you should be breathing. Yeah. But the exhales is the lift. So then you can work that through where your exhales are. Awesome. Yeah, and remember, the higher you keep your upper body, the harder you're working. So if you keep those shoulder blades, they keep lifting. There's a little pause, and then you bring the block up. Yeah, lift it up, bring it in there. Squeeze that block together as you're coming out. So don't forget, we're still squeezing that block. Yeah, lift up on it. So we're only here for 1 minute. It probably feels like a lifetime, I'm sure, but we're only here for 1 minute. Find that lift to find the burn. Yeah, we have 15 seconds. We're still squeezing through the thighs. So maybe your upper body's coming down further. That's fine. Maybe you're dropping your heels. Wherever you are is where you should be. But with intention. So have intention in your poses. We're here for 3 seconds. Let's hold it out. Yeah, let's find the lift. Keep the squeeze for 2. Yeah, let's let it go. Take the block, place it out of your way. Find a long stretch overhead. Reach through your toes. So create the space. Let it feel good. Awesome. Hug the knees up into the chest. Pull them in real strong. Keep your left knee in and extend your right leg out. Lift your upper body nose to the knee. So let's work that here. Let's alternate it side to side. Tuck it in. Right here. Yeah, bring it up. 10 more. 10. Nice. 9. Crunch it higher. 8, every one. 7, yeah, you can reach for the toes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's bring the legs straight up to the sky in a wide straddle. Interlace your fingers up through your legs. I have this microphone on, so I keep lying back on it. Let's come on up. Ready? Here we go. Let's crunch it. For 10, yeah. 9, get high on it. 8, flex those toes in. 7, straighten those legs out. Yeah. 6, 5. So adductors 4 should be shaken now. 3 if you were really working. 2, that block. And for 1, lower the upper body, cross your right leg over your left. Reach up and catch the outer edges of your feet. Yeah, and let your head relax. And pull your feet back towards your shoulders. Find a strong pull. We're warm, we're pulling it back, feel it. Yeah, keep pulling those feet back. So bend the elbows and use the biceps. Keep pulling them back. Reverse the cross. Go ahead and catch it. Yes, relax the head. Find the pull. Drive it in. Feet stay high, so we're lifting them up and we're pulling them back. 4, keep the work on it. 3, for 2, turn over onto your belly. Yes, here, and then go ahead and reach your arms out to the front wall and stretch your toes to the back wall, and let's lift up. Right here, we're in Superman. Let's come high, but we're still gonna look down at the floor. We're gonna come a little higher, and then everything is gonna swim, arms and legs. So here we go. Yeah, and let's keep those legs just with a slight bend in the knees. There's power in it. Let the arms get a little faster, speed it up. For 5, 4, just lift the arms, no swim. Keep the lower body swimming. For 3, keep reaching through it. For 2, everything lifts, stop the swim. Let's come up. 5, 4, 3, 2, downward facing dog. Right leg comes to the sky. Walk yourself back to your toes on the left. Yeah, so now we're at the back of the mat. And we're just gonna fold in. So however you like, you can turn your fingertips to the back wall and use the floor as leverage there. That's a really nice way to catch a little bit more. You can grab the leg. Some people really just only love to grab the leg, and that's the only way that they work it. I find the fingertips in the floor, bending the elbows, lets me continue to keep going, whereas if I grab that leg, I kind of only have so much space. But if you're really tight, then that might work for you. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring your right knee behind your left Achilles, if it'll go that low, or as low as you can bring it. And we're gonna lengthen through your spine on this one. So there's a few ways we can do this. If you need a break, you can drop the back of your foot into the floor. If you don't, you're gonna keep it lifted. So you can lift your arms out into the letter V and create the length that way. Or you can keep your fingertips in the floor. We're gonna bring your right knee to your left knee, and then we're gonna sit into the squat. So if you're up here, you'll have more range of motion to lift and to lower. And you may want to drop that foot and find the lift here and the lower there. It's a single leg squat. So find what's working for you and a lower. We have 4 more. Find the lift and the low. So you want to go into the depths of it. For 4, we're going slow on these. For 3, so there's no need to rush through it. For 2, excellent. Stand tall and catch that right knee up into your chest. So we'll grab that right knee, and once you catch it, I want you to lift it up. Feel the weight of it. Pull it in, and then lift the spine. So now the goal is to really think about a tall spine. That's the most important thing right now, is a tall spine. We're gonna bring that right arm inside of your leg and catch your big toe if you can, and then bring your left hand outside of your hip. And we're gonna, once again, think about getting as tall as you can. So here's the deal. If you can straighten your leg by holding onto your big toe or the ball of your foot, go for it. Straighten that leg out. So you can reach it out here and keep that lift. If your hamstring is too tight for that, you'll catch your knee and reestablish the lift here. And then we're gonna reach that left arm out to the left side. We're gonna keep that knee exactly where it is. So maybe you have a straight leg, maybe you have the knee. We're gonna keep it where it is, and you're just gonna look over to your left. So all I want you to do is change the dristi. All we're doing is changing our steady gaze. so that we can challenge the balance. Yeah, now bring that leg over to the right side. So if you have the big toe or the knee, either way, you're gonna lift it up with your chest, your breastbone driving towards the sky. And wherever you are, I don't want you to find something in the pose where you're straining somewhere else. So if looking to the left is straining your neck, look forward, that's fine too. We're gonna bring the knee and the gaze back center. And we're gonna keep that thigh high. So bend your knee now if you have a straight leg and reach your arms up to the ceiling. Arms come to the sky. Yes, that's fantastic. Then we're gonna straighten that leg out and we're gonna find a straight leg lift. Let's take it up for 6, 5, 4, 3. Each one gets a little higher. 2, that means we drop a little less low. Hold it up on 1, slide your hands to your hips, lift your right thigh up over your left. Lower body is coming into eagle pose. So once we take that, what I want you to think about is keeping your hips even and then decide where that foot's gonna go. So maybe the foot's gonna go outside of your left foot. So maybe that foot, maybe you only have so much flexibility that it doesn't come all the way around. Maybe you'll just bring your toes outside of that foot. Maybe it is coming back. Let's get the hips nice and even. Now drop into the seat. Find the squat. Lift the chest up. Yes. Then reach your left arm out. Let your left arm reach. Bring your right arm under. Eagle arms. We're going to interlace the arms and lift the elbows out of the chest. If that's not available, you're going to come elbow to elbow. So you'll be here either way. We're doing the work inside of the strong eagle to lift the arms up. Let's take a little fold. So go ahead and let your elbows come in towards your knee. Keep the seated squat. You can work that foot outside the edge for 5. That's awesome. 4, upper body only, we'll find chair pose. So lift that chest up. Yeah, lift it high. Beautiful. Lower body's gonna find airplane. So unravel that right leg and point your toes to the back wall. Let's spread the wings back behind you. Airplane pose. We'll lift the front of the shoulders. Right leg's getting high. We've been doing a lot of work on the left. 2 hands hit the floor. Let's give it a rest. Walk yourself into a long dog with a high right leg. Right foot lunges, left foot turns. Warrior 1. We're going to come on up. Warrior 1. Awesome. We'll interlace the fingers overhead. We're going to reach up long through the biceps. Let's take a little stretch side to side. So as we come back center, we pull up out of the rib cage. We create a little bit. Beautiful. Warrior 2. Let's slide open. Warrior 2. And then we'll drop that right hand inside of your right foot and we'll reach your left arm up to the sky. And then we're going to go for a bound connection here. Bring that right arm under. Reach that left arm back. So you're bound. Maybe you're working your right hand all the way up to your wrist. So you can keep going deeper into this pose. So if you're just grasping the fingertips, but you have so much space from your right thigh to your rib cage, then see if you can reach your hand up longer and go deeper into that shoulder. On the inhales, we're going to lift up. On the exhales, yeah, we're going to take that back. So let's peel back, tuck the hips in. Inhales, we're lifting. Exhales, we're rolling. Gorgeous. For 5, 4, keep breathing through it. 3, we're going to pivot that back foot onto the ball of your foot and hop your left foot up across from your right and just stay here. So we're in the bound. All I want you to do is make sure that you feel stable in your lower body first. And then, if it's available, we're going to come into your bird of paradise. We're going to lift that right leg up. And I want you to take your time. So the slower you go to come up, the better your balance, but not only that, the harder you're working, the more you're asking, you're recruiting those little muscles to come into play that we don't always use. So now we're in bird of paradise, and the whole goal is a tall spine, yeah, to open through the chest. If you have a tall spine, you can straighten that right leg if you love that, if you're really flexible in that right leg. Who cares? If you want to do it, great. If you don't, that's great too. What we care about is breathing into the openness of the shoulders and into the length of the spine right now and into the balance of the pose. If you want more of a challenge, you can close your eyes here because that's a beautiful thing to do too. And let's own the pose for 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a fold forward and release it. Slide your hands under your feet, walk your toes up to your wrists, straighten your legs, push back through your glutes, lift up through your spine, breathe in. As you exhale, it's a strong pull. So what I want you to do is keep pulling, keep feeling, take that opportunity to pull every couple of exhales, and maybe you're pushing your seat back. And maybe you're closing your eyes here. So relaxing through your nervous system in so many ways, allowing yourself to just be pliable and to enjoy it. And then release your hands out and go ahead and slowly step back into your high plank. We're going to come down onto your forearms, one forearm at a time. We'll walk your toes up a little bit towards your face so that your shoulders are on top of your elbows. And we're going to squeeze your thighs and your glutes now. Yeah, so we're going to get that lower body nice and strong. Your belly button's already tucked up towards your chest, and then we're driving energy down away from the floor. So we're staying strong there. And then we're just going to find a little march of your feet. So we're going to stay light on the toes, just a little touch down on each one. And we're trying to keep the rest of the body as still as you can. Hips are shining down to the floor like headlights. We're also squeezing the glute on the straight leg lift. So there's a lot of good stuff happening there. And if you feel like you need a break, stop the march and just hold the plank. Or drop the knees and hold the plank that way. Hold that modified plank. Awesome. We're going to keep 2 feet in the floor. And then we're going to take your right foot and we're going to bring it out to the right side. Maybe it's coming all the way up, straight leg. So straight leg out to the right. Yeah, maybe it's coming all the way up towards the front wall and you're going to tap it to the floor. So take it all the way over. Yeah. And then bring it back center and drop it to the floor. And so we're working the mobility of the hips here. We're going to take the touch out and we'll bring it back. And then we'll take the touch out and we'll bring it back. Yeah. And then find that touch. It's very light and a little touch. Nice. Yeah. Go ahead and work it right there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. 1, let's stay here. Palms, we're going to push up into a high plank position. Forearms, we're going to come down nice and light. You control it. So modification right here on the knees. Palms, we're coming up strong. We're using the abdominals. And then forearms, we're going to place it down nice and easy. Palms, we're coming up. Wrists are under the shoulders. And forearms, we're going to lower it down. And then palms, we're coming up. And then forearms, we're going to hold it right here. Let's take that right hip. It's a little touch. We're going right, and we're coming square. And then we're going to go right again. It's a little touch, and then we're coming square. There's a pause here. It's a little touch to the right, and square it off. Keep that chest away. We're coming to the right side, and square it off. Let's take it to the left. If you need a break, knees are in the floor. Hold the plank, and we'll square it off. It's a little touch. We're going left and hold the square. Let's slow it down a little bit to the left side. And we're square. Let's touch it to the left. And palms were up. Child's pose sounds like a good idea. Yes. You know, let's come up onto the hands and knees and we'll take a little shoulder stretch. So wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Thread your right arm under your left. If you have toe socks, fix them. If you use those toe socks, then they do have a tendency, because I've used them for other classes. And you can be on the balls of your feet. You can keep your toes relaxed here. It's totally up to you. I like the support of being on the balls of my feet. And then go ahead and see if you can bring that left arm to your low back or to your right hip, open through that left shoulder. So now if you want to take a bound here, you can lift your left knee up. Your right knee, I'm sorry. Lift your right knee up and let your opposite hand catch your foot, or not. So you choose. If you like it and it feels good, go into the quad here for 5. There's balance inside of this one. for 3, for 2. Slow and easy, lower it down. Press up, let's thread through to the other side. So that left arm is gonna come under. Yeah, we're reaching the fingertips. So let your fingertips reach out a little bit to the opposite side of your mat. Yeah, so that you can work that openness through the ribs. And then we'll take that palm and we'll bring it over to the outside of your hip or to your low back. We're gonna peel back through that shoulder. We're just reaching through your left fingertips. So we're going a little deeper through that shoulder that's in the floor. And if you tried it on one side, you definitely have to at least try opposite hand to foot. And if it doesn't reach, it doesn't reach, but you're still kind of going for it. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes one side gives you a, what are you thinking kind of attitude. And we're gonna kick back and breathe it for 5, 4. That looks amazing. 3, 2. Remember guys, everything is an easy release. So let that knee come down with love, not letting your kneecap slam into the floor. Come on into your downward facing dog, which I see often. We're in down dog. And we're just gonna take some inhales and exhales, some full breaths. I don't really think I can remember anything on the other side, but we'll give it a whirl. So go ahead and stretch that left leg up. We're going to walk back to your toes on the right. And we're just going to settle in here for a few breaths. So if you had your fingertips to the back wall and you were working the leverage of the floor, bending through the elbows, again, that's a nice way to create a little bit more here. You can work it back. Don't forget that back leg's yours. You're lifting it up. Bring it with you. Or if you like to grab on with one hand or the other, you can work that way to pull it in. We're here for 5, 4. I'm losing my mic for 3, 2. And then we will go ahead and bring that left knee behind. Yeah, bring it behind. Yeah, so we're gonna start. You're either here or dropping that foot. We'll reach the arms. And these are slow. So there's a lift and there's a low. And I want you to stay in that. There's a lift. These are real intentional. And a low. So I want you to think about it. There's a lift. These are too much. You're here. And a low. There's a lift. Here's a modification. And a low. We have 2 more. Find the lift. And then lower it down. We have 1 more. There's a lift and there's a low. Hold the low. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna drive that left thigh up into your chest. Stand tall, catch that knee, pull it up, pull it in. Yeah, so grab it, pick it up and pull it in. Awesome. And we're gonna grip those right toes, so root that foot. We'll take your first 2 fingers around your big toe, so maybe you're gonna catch it and just lift yourself up nice and tall. And if it's available, straighten that leg out. Again, one leg is more flexible than the other a lot of times, as I'm talking and falling over, where you could see that sometimes you can straighten one leg out and the other guy was like, absolutely not. So wherever you are, again, that's where your body is. And that's beautiful because you're here and you're doing it. We're squeezing through that standing glute. We're going to reach that right arm out to the side wall. And before we turn that leg, I want you to just look over through your fingertips as a challenge. If you know that hurts your neck, you wouldn't do it. So body wisdom, stay in tune with what's happening for you. Then we'll take that knee out to the side. Maybe you have a straight leg out to the side. Wherever you are, you're using that arm to lift that leg up. Yeah, 5, 4, looks amazing. 3, 2. We're gonna bring the gaze and the leg back out in front of you. We're gonna keep that thigh high. We're gonna reach the arms up to the sky. Yeah, reach it up. Now slide the hands onto the hips. Lower body's coming into your best eagle. So lift that thigh up. Remember, yeah, that's the whole goal, is to take it up and bring it over. So the higher you lift it, the better your opportunity to come all the way around and connect it through. So if you don't lift it as high, you might be kind of shortchanging yourself into getting that full wrap around. And again, it's not about how far it's going to go. It's just that if you could bring it that far, why wouldn't you, right? Well, even out the hips a little bit so one hip gets higher than the other. See if you can manually feel the hips so that one guy's not all the way up here. Feel them out. And then once you do that, all I want you to do is sit into the squat. So once you get that going, take a seat down and kind of smoke the buns in to do the work, right? So we're baking the lower body, getting that nice and warm. And then we'll reach the right arm out. Yeah. We'll bring the left arm under. And if not, you'll close it up here. So now we're doing the work in the abdominals to work the pose, the depth of your eagle pose. The abdominals are on this one. We're smoking the glutes, take the fold, yeah. So that elbow's coming maybe to the knee, maybe it's tucking in lower. Let's breathe here in the depth of your squat for 5-4. The upper body only finds chair, just the upper body. So lift it up, Mary, yeah, lift that upper body up. Get it high, yeah, find the reach. So yep, upper body's in chair, we're lengthening. Now the lower body is gonna unravel into your airplane. So go ahead, if you want to grab your hips, that's fine too. Point the toes back. Now airplane is really a strong pose. The arms are lifting, the shoulder blades are pulling back, the toes are reaching. Push and drive down through that standing leg. 5-4, 3, 2 hands find the floor. We're gonna walk a long dog. Keep your right foot where it is and walk your hands all the way up so you can use your length that we've built during this whole time. Left foot lunges, right foot turns, arms are out to the side wall, and then we come up warrior one. Yeah, so I want you to reach and open, interlace the fingers. Pointer fingers are driving up to the sky. So we're gonna lengthen here, and then we're gonna find a little stretch side to side. So we're only going just as far as your body wants to go. And then warrior two is where we create, the space. So we take up some more and we're dropping the shoulders down. So right now I want you to think about where can you let go, where can you relax, and where can you be stronger. So can you release through your jaw, through your face, through your eyes? Can you let your shoulders drop? And then can you bring your shoulder blades together, get a little stronger there? Can you find electricity through your fingertips, a little bit there? Can you drive down through your inner thigh and through your glute? Can you peel back through your quad and straighten that leg and push energy into the edge of that foot? So that's where we can bring it. And we'll drop that left palm inside of your left foot. We'll reach your right arm high. We're gonna use that left arm a little bit to push open through that inner thigh. And then we'll catch a bound right here if it's available. If not, stay open in the pose. So if it is available, you'll catch back. If you are more flexible, then you can reach this hand all the way up your arm. You can keep going all the way up your arm if you're like super flexible Gumby. So remember, there's always another place for you to work, but you are working here. So on the inhales, we're lifting the chest up. We're turning that left knee out. We're tucking that left hip in. On the exhales, we're opening through the rib cage. So I want you to keep the heart rate rising through the pose. It's real easy to just lay down on that thigh and let go. And if that's what you need to do, open yourself back up. That's beautiful too. But if you can bring it, you're here, try it out. Why not? You might like it. We're gonna pivot that back foot. We're gonna hop up. We're gonna square off first. So I want you to take a moment. Get your feet even across from each other. Then we're gonna root that right foot and we're gonna bring that left leg up. And it's slow. So think about taking your time. Yeah, get into the little muscles that you need to come up slower than rather just using that momentum and popping yourself up. That's awesome. We're gonna lift up through the spine. And then I want you to think about that connected shoulder rolling back. So that left shoulder wants to open too, not just so much all on the right. So yeah, bring the shoulder blades together, that's it. And turn that left knee out because now we're nice and warm inside the psoas, we're inside the hips. So we're gonna let that open up. And if you wanted to straighten your leg, if you're going for that level 3, level 4, that left leg will straighten out. If that feels good, if it doesn't, you're gonna keep the knee bent. If you wanna close your eyes, there's another challenge right here, 5-4, but the mouth is closed, we're breathing Ujjayi for 3-2. We're gonna take the fold forward. Or at least like if you want to close your eyes and get in the pose.
then maybe you would do it. Come on into your high plank. No, thank you. I don't need to do all the work that you're doing. I'm just speeding you up. Okay, we're in a high plank right here, and we're just gonna bring the right knee to the left wrist. Right knee to the left wrist. I want you to try and touch it. We're gonna bring it up to the elbow. And then we're gonna bring it to the wrist again. And then we're coming up to the elbow. Maybe it's a little higher. Let's touch the wrist. Yeah, bring it up to the elbow. Touch that wrist, bring it up high, turn the right knee out to the right side wall and just hold it. If you feel stronger, 4 push-ups here, or you're just holding straight arms for 4, 3, yes, 2, high plank position, down dog. Take a break and let it feel good. If you're not feeling like down dog's enough of a break, guess what's available? You never guess it. Child's pose. All damn day. It's a good one. And then take a shift into your high plank. We're going to bring that left knee. And we're going to bring it over to your wrist. And we're going to try to touch it. And then we're going to bring it up as high as you can. And then we're going to touch the knee. And we're coming up high. And then we're going to touch it. And we're coming up high. And then we're gonna touch it, take it up high and hold it. Turn that knee out to the sidewall, flex the toes. Here we go. Let's lower it down and push it up. For 4, for 3, for 2, this is not my practice. For 1, child's pose, take a break. Not quite there yet for those kind of push-ups for my recovery. And then let's find downward facing dog, and we're gonna float your feet to or through your hands and take a seat into the floor. Yeah, so we're gonna sit down here, and then we're gonna bring your right heel outside of your right hip, and we'll keep a straight left leg. So bring your thighs together. Nice, yeah. And then we're gonna reach the arms up to the sky. Find a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to keep a long spine and just imagine that I'm gonna pull you out to the front wall. Keep pulling your left toes back. I'm gonna reach you out to the front wall. Yeah, keep getting longer. Keep extending, keep reaching. And then catch that foot. Let your chest drop. Find the love. Fold it in. You can always use the floor as your leverage as well to work into the pose. And then we're going to come on up. So keep the top of that foot in the floor and then take your left foot and cross it. See if you can bring it up. So if it doesn't feel good to come that high, you certainly don't have to come that high. But if it feels good, go ahead and work it up there. Nice, yeah. And then we could wrap your top of your foot in the crook of your elbow. And we'll bring your left hand behind your back. We're gonna lift up through the chest. Find a breath in. As you exhale, we're just gonna turn over to the left side. And then we'll bring the chin back center, and we're gonna keep that left foot up, and we're gonna bring that right foot around, and then go ahead and cross it under so that we're in a half lotus. And if it doesn't feel good to be in half lotus, then for sure you can just cross your legs if that feels better. And then we'll reach the arms up to the sky. Let's get really tall on it. Breathe in, and as you exhale, you're gonna extend yourself out really long. Reach out, yeah, create the length and the space. Let your fingertips drop. I want you to keep your seat in the floor. So root the seat down and then let yourself fold in. Now we're gonna work the floor while we're here by pressing your palms and reaching through your fingertips. And then we'll slowly lift yourself up. And then we're gonna bring your left fingertips behind your back. Bring your right hand to your left leg and just give yourself a little twist. Look over that left shoulder. You're pulling with some right arm strength. And then let's twist that to the other side. Fingertips behind, grab and pull it. And then we're going to straighten both legs out in front of you. So go ahead and reach your legs out. Flex back through your toes. Yeah, lift up through your chest. Reach your arms up high. Breathe in. As you exhale, we're going to reach out for 4, and we're not going to lower all the way down. For 4, extend long. 3, reach it. 2. Now I want you to cross your arms and catch the outer edges of your opposite foot. So catch the outer edges of your feet. Bend your elbows, bring your chin towards your toes, and then every exhale, bend and feel. We're going to keep your left hand on your right foot. We're going to release your right hand. We're going to lift your right leg up. So right leg lifts, left hand has it, right fingertips behind your back. Yeah, we're going to look over your right shoulder and just lift up through that leg. Yeah, keep lifting, keep reaching. And then we'll bring your chin back center. We're going to bend that knee and just take that right foot outside of your left. Bring your elbow to the edge and just work the twist a little deeper here. And then we'll come back center. We'll straighten that leg out. We're going to reach the arms up high to the sky. So lengthen through the spine. Let's breathe in. And as you exhale, let's extend long. So find the reach out. For 5, 4, pull the toes back. 3, keep getting a little longer. 2, cross the arms. Catch opposite outer edges of your feet. Bend the elbows. Let your head relax, fold it in. And then we're going to keep that right hand on your left foot. We'll release the left arm. We're going to lift that left leg up. Fingertips come to the low back. We're going to keep pulling, looking over that left shoulder. For 5, 4, 3. Upper back stays tall. 2. We'll bring the chin back center. Bend that knee. Cross it over. Use the edge of your elbow as your leverage to twist it. We'll come back center. We're going to keep a straight right leg. Bring that left heel outside of your left hip. Arms reach high. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, let's lengthen and feel. Extend long. Again, you can use the floor to press and use one hand to pull. And then as we come up, we're going to take that foot and we're going to cross it if it's available. So maybe you can only cross to here. If you can pull it all the way up, then go ahead and get it in. Nice. We'll hold on to it. Reach your right fingertips behind you. Let's take the turn. And then we'll bring the chin back center and we'll cross that left foot under. So we'll go into a reverse half lotus here, rooting the seat. So on this one, we're going to go over to your left side. So go ahead and reach your arms up to the sky. Breathe in. As you exhale, turn your torso to the left. And let's just reach and fold out and feel right here. We're working the floor. Slowly fingertip yourself back center. Reach the arms out. Drive high. Breathe in. As you exhale, turn the torso to the right. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, reach it out. Create the length. Sometimes you might be in class with someone and you're close. So just love your neighbor. It's all good. Reach and feel. Maybe you're helping them go into a deeper pose. And then slowly we'll come back up and come center. Let's go into a back bend. So we'll drive that right heel into your left inner thigh. And then we're going to bring your right hand outside of your right hip. And we're going to lift up and see if you can come onto the ball of that right foot so you can use it as your leverage to reach. And again, chin is where the neck feels good. We're pushing through the pelvis. And we're breathing with the mouth closed. Keep striving to drive the hips up. Let's stay in it for 5, 4, 3, for 2. We'll come down nice and easy and take it right into the other side. So go ahead and extend that right leg out. We'll drop through the left. Let's reach it up. Get on those toes. Peel back through it. Keep pushing energy through your pelvis here. Five more seconds to feel. Let's take a seat, nice and slow. We're gonna lie back into the floor. Oh, that was a long one. After all of the work that we just did, it is time to give yourself the gift of relaxing into the floor. We're coming into our child's pose. So let's just let it go right here. Go ahead and let your legs fall out a little bit to the left and right side. Yeah. Release through your spine right now. Let your arms drop down alongside of you. Let your shoulder blades drop into the floor. And now the breath is your own. So maybe your mouth is open. We're going to let the vertebrae drop down into the floor. Relax through your toes, through your fingertips. We're going to get real still. So this is your time. This is your opportunity to allow yourself to think on so many things that we all have to be grateful for. This is our opportunity to enjoy gratitude. So let yourself fall into that space where every single thing that comes in to your head is only about what you're thankful for. And if it's available for you, see if you can stay here on your mat. Give yourself 5 minutes, 5 good minutes that are all for you to enjoy letting go. Namaste, my friends.